What was going through your head when you hit the 11th inning homer that ended up winning back-to-back World Series?
Yeah, I don't know. It was crazy. Crazy moment there. Was just hyped up. Rounding first, giving Woody, the first base coach, a high five. Waving out to the bullpen, coming around, seeing Freddie there. The dugout was out of the all the guys were out of the dugout, and just fired up, man. That was special. I'll remember that for forever.
You were the first player in MLB history to hit an extra inning home run in a winner-take-all World Series game. How does it feel?
Yeah, that's crazy. I never would have thought that, but yeah, just glad I was able to get it done for the guys and in the city, and it was such a good game. Hard fought. Miggy hitting the homer in the ninth, Muncy earlier. Yoshi doing what he did. It was just a special game, and yeah, I was glad we could get that over in the 11th instead of like the 18th, like Game 3.
You made history a second time during the series when you caught every single inning, 73 innings, the most by any catcher ever in the World Series. What does it mean to you to be part of history now?
Yeah, that's a crazy stat. Thanks probably to the 18-inning game, but yeah, just a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work with the training staff, with the strength coaches to keep my body in shape and to be able to handle that workload. So yeah, just glad we won it.
Todd and Raising Cane's have donated $50,000 to your foundation, the Catching Hope Foundation. What does this mean to you?
Yeah, Catching Hope is our foundation. It's super near and dear to our hearts. We love, working with kids, providing opportunities for kind of whatever they need that they don't really get. Whether that's experience at Dodger Stadium, whether that's book and school supplies or sports equipment. We love just making an impact on the LA community and these kids that that don't get the opportunities and the things we feel like they deserve and they should have.
How excited are you to work a celebratory shift at Cane's today?
I'm so excited. I grew up. I love Cane's. I love their chicken, the sauce. I love the Texas toast too. So I'm excited to be here.
Kiké did it last year and Mookie did it in 2024 as well. Did they give you any tips?
No, I didn't know they did it. But I'm just gonna have fun today.
What does the Dodger fan base in the city of LA mean to you after you've won 3 World Series with the team and spent your whole professional career here?
Yeah, this is pretty much home now for us. We love it here. The fans, these are the best fans in sports, in every sport. And we feel it as players. We feel the energy at Dodger Stadium. We felt it, at the parade the other day. We just love the passion that these fans have, and that helps us. Helps motivate me, especially. Trying to win more championships for the city.
You faced some adversity this year with the injury, but you were able to return and deliver. Did you start the season when you guys were in Japan envisioning this in the World Series?
Yeah, that was the goal. Right when we showed up, spring training probably started last year in the off season, trying to repeat. But yeah, it's a long year. The injury in September, not ideal timing, making a last second playoff push. But incredible work by the training staff. Getting healed up, getting me back. Just be able to contribute a little bit.
Aside from the game-winning home run in Game 7, what was your favorite memory of the World Series?
Favorite memory. Let's keep going. I don't know. Probably. Going out, running, getting a double play, and running out and picking Yoshi up. What he did that whole series was remarkable. It was incredible. We leaned on him more than we thought we would have to. So it was finally, kind of over, and he could rest and just pick him up, celebrate, getting mobbed by the team. Was really cool.
And how does it feel to now be a 3-time All-Star and 3-time World Series champion?
It's crazy. It's what you dream of as a kid, and I couldn't be more happy that I get to have the opportunity each and every year to go out there and help this team win a World Series.
Awesome, and happy to open it up to the rest of the press now.
Will, a week ago you lost Game 5, then you go on, you win 6 and 7, hit the game-winning home run. Now we're serving chicken and eating chicken at Cane's. Just talk about the last week.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Really started with that 18-inning game before Game 3 or 4 and 5, but yeah, losing Game 4 and 5 at home was tough. I don't want to say we were tired. We might have been a little bit tired. They beat us, but having to go to Toronto, win 2 games to wrap it up was hard. It's just a testament to my teammates. These guys, just a bunch of hard-working dudes, and yeah, now we're celebrating.
I mean, you've won World Series before, but to hit like winning home run in Game 7, like does it feel like your life has changed a little bit in some ways this week?
I mean, yes and no. You know, that's a moment that'll always be special to me. I'll always remember it. You know, I hadn't been able to do that in the first couple. Hit some good big hits and stuff, but the game winner's cool. So hopefully, you know, next year going for a three-peat, we'll do something similar.
As you just said, it's been a busy week for you, but how has it been, the community giving so much back to you, and how much do you feel like you give back to the community?
Yeah, I mean, we felt it from the community, the LA community at the parade. You know, millions of people out there. It was an even longer parade this year than last year. Dodger Stadium was filled up. It was incredible. You know, seeing the signs, seeing the fans cheering, their smiles, the waves. That was really cool. You know, the parade never gets old, especially here in LA. We do it right here.
Will, you mentioned a three-peat. A lot of your teammates and Dave Roberts, that seemed to be the main focus throughout the parade, throughout the celebration. Just what is that mindset like, knowing that you guys are in the moment you're celebrating, but you're also locked in on making history and doing it again next year?
Yeah, I mean, we're just celebrating right now. You know, we'll get to work here in a couple weeks. You know, guys will start hitting the gym. Some guys might already be. I'm not yet, but yeah, no, that's the Dodgers. You know, that's why I signed a long-term contract here, because I want a chance to win a World Series each and every year. So that's gonna be the goal next year, is to three-peat.
Building on the mindset piece, coming up clutch in the 11th inning, 1 World Series, 2 World Series. What practices, if any, do you use to keep your focus straight as an individual and as a team?
Yeah, I think, you know, for me, I've always tried not to do too much. That's just something I kind of learned as a younger player from some of the older guys, older teammates I had. You know, all I was really trying to do was just get on base and let Freddie drive me in right after. Just happened to get in the air, it got over the wall, and you know, we scored a run a little bit easier that way.
Do you have any hype songs that you listen to when you get hyped up, when you're working out, when you're training, when you're playing?
Yeah, we're always blasting music in the training room, the weight room. I don't know. I'm not in charge of it, but you know, I feel it.
Going back to your roots a little bit, you know, when you look back at your journey from Louisville to now, you know, do you ever kind of sit with that and think about what it's been like for you, how that's been for you?
Yeah, for sure. You know, you think of where you kind of came from at U of L, in high school. You know, your parents and stuff. Kind of all you've been through. So it's been a fun ride. You know, ever since I got to the Dodgers. College was awesome as well. So just trying to keep it going.
What was it like for you to see playing Kershaw in his career with another World Series ring?
Yeah, that was special. You know, what he's poured into the Dodger organization, what he's poured into the LA community, really just what he's poured into baseball is incredible. You know, the first ballot Hall of Famer, you know, one of the best pitchers to ever walk the face of the earth. It's cool. You know, being his teammate for a few years now, it's special. Just seeing what he does each and every day, how he prepares for a game. It's something that rubs off on all of us as his teammates.
Well, now that you having 3 World Series titles, you're one shy away from 4, which is tied for third most in World Series history for catchers, tying for Ray Posada. So, you know, winning the World Series, just one is hard enough. But you envision winning multiple World Series and being on the verge of making history.
Yeah, no, not as a kid. I think, you know, after 2020, we won the first one, and you just kind of want more. You know, it's hard to win a World Series, and you know, it takes a team, and just fortunate and grateful to have the opportunity each and every year to be on a good team and have a chance to win.
At last year's parade, Jack Flaherty was kind of seen as the craziest teammate celebrating. So who was the craziest teammate at this year's parade?
I'm just gonna go with Kiké. He was having a good time. Yeah.
Well, when you talk about this place feeling like home, I mean, do weeks like this kind of reinforce that when you kind of see the reception you guys get at the parade, even like things like this kind of the way?
Yeah, for sure. You know, you just feel the love. You feel the love from all the fans. It's just cool. You know, it's fun celebrating with all these people, and you see, you know, what the Dodgers mean to them, and it only adds motivation, you know, for the off season going into next year.
Okay, well, aside from taking on the new career here at Canes, what does Dodger do on his off season when you have 3 months?
Yeah, I mean, I have 2 kids, so a lot of dad duty. But yeah, just hanging out at home. Get to golf some, go out to eat a little bit. Just kind of live a normal life for a few months, and get back in training, get ready for next year.
Hey, Will, I'm really impressed with you being able to catch for 18 innings. You have to have such strong knees to stay in that position for so long. Is there specific conditioning you do to be able to stay in that position and not die? And also, everyone's also always talking about Megan Thee Stallion and how strong her knees are. Do you think that you could go toe-to-toe with her?
No chance on that one, but yeah, no, it's nothing specific probably. It's just a lot of different stuff in the weight room, taking care of the body. Yeah, I started cramping up in like the 13th inning, so maybe I could have been a little more in shape and not been cramping up, but yeah, we did a good job. I was getting bananas, hydration, getting worked on in between innings. We just kept fighting, as a team, and yeah, you just keep going.
And Will, you talked about how every year the Dodgers look different, the roster construction. You guys have some free agents that are in there. Miguel Rojas, Kiké Hernández. I know it's out of your control, but just how important would it be to see those guys come back next year?
Yeah, I mean those are two guys, leaders on the team. They obviously contributed a lot this year. Miggy's homer, Kiké what he does, but it's more than that. What you see off the field, what you see in the clubhouse from those guys. So yeah, I mean personally, I'd love to have them back. I know. I'm sure we're going to be trying to get them back, but that's not my job. I don't know how that all works exactly, but yeah, love those guys, and hopefully they're back with us next year.
Hey, Will, what's next after a shift at Canes?
Sorry, our CEO is coming in right now. We're gonna have to end it right here. If you could grab your mics, that would be great. Thanks so much.